did winning get so quiet? When we were kids, success had a scoreboard. You got an A on a test, a trophy in your hands, even someone telling you did good. Now it's different. No grades, no finish lines, no clear proof you're moving forward. Just the feeling that everyone else is, while you're still standing in the same place, wondering if any of this is, really working. All right. Been a minute since I made a YouTube video, but I figured, why not today? All right. So as of recently, I've been really wrestling and quite honestly struggling with the idea of how do we measure success? Because let's face it, the older we get, that measurement, the way we look at it, it definitely changes. How I looked at success when I was 12 or 15 is completely different from how I look at success when I'm 31. And I don't know. As of recently, I definitely feel like maybe I'm not going down the right path, or maybe I'm just looking at success in the wrong way. But before we get into any of that, I'm leaving for my parents this weekend. It's Easter on Sunday, and so I have to go get packed. And before I even do any of that, I need to go eat because, I'm not gonna lie, I'm starving. This isn't even a sponsorship, but I've been really loving this Mountain Valley water lately. Not only does it taste good, but the sound of a glass bottle, unmatched. Just top-notch aesthetics right there. You see, growing up, I was an athlete. And back then, success was pretty simple. You got the starting spot, you won the award, your name ended up in the paper. There was always proof, something telling you you're doing it right. And even when you weren't, you knew exactly where you stood. The scoreboard didn't lie. But stepping into business, especially in the creative world, that clarity has kind of disappeared. There's no scoreboard anymore, no coach, no stats, and no final buzzer. Just long days, some quiet wins, and moments where you start questioning if this is all really working. You see other people moving faster, growing bigger, and it makes you wonder if, you're stuck. But over time, I started to realize something. Success doesn't always look loud. It's not always something you could hold or point to. And sometimes it's just consistency. Sometimes it's growth no one really sees. And sometimes, it's just not quitting. You see, that's always the problem that I had when I was growing up. I always felt like people were one step ahead of me. When I was turning 20, people were graduating college while I was still working a 9-to-5. When I turned 25, people were buying houses while I was still living in an apartment. And at 31, all my friends are getting married and having babies while, I'm just doing my thing. I think my biggest problem is I always found myself just asking, why am I not as successful as the people that are around me? When in reality, I was right where I needed to be. I think we live in a day and age where I did it myself, but we all compare our timelines and we all compare our, stories and who we are to one another. In reality, we're all individuals. We all have individual stories to tell, and we've all come from a different life path. Everything that I went through is not something that everyone else around me was going through. And because I went through that stuff, it helped build me into the person I am and doing what I'm doing now. Yesterday, I caught myself kind of telling myself, if I didn't go through the struggles I had when I was 20, 25, I don't know if I'd be doing what I'm doing right now at 31. And maybe photography and videography would still just be a hobby and not my full career path. I think the hardest part about success is realizing it doesn't look the same for everyone. Some days success isn't big. It's not money or recognition or anything the world really claps for. Sometimes it's just, having the right people around you. People who believe in you when you're still figuring it out. People who remind you who you are when you start to forget. Sometimes it's pressing record, even when you don't feel ready. And even when you don't feel good enough, just showing up and practicing your craft anyways. Because the truth is, success is whatever you decide it is. We all come from different places, different pressures, different expectations, and different stories. So of course it's gonna look different. Of What feels like a small step for someone else might be everything for you. And that doesn't make it less, it just makes it, yours. We're all moving at our own pace, learning, failing, and adjusting, growing in ways nobody else can fully see. And maybe that's the point. Maybe success isn't something you chase. Maybe it's something you learn to recognize. And maybe it's not about catching up to anyone else. It's about finally understanding you're never supposed to.